Consulting appears to hold a surprising contradiction. Organizations spend vast sums on external advice for their most critical projects, yet the final decisions often seem predetermined, as if consultants simply validate a path already chosen. This observation is both true and misleading. The influence of consulting is not a simple act of giving advice. It is a deeper process, a hidden engine that shapes choices long before a final report is delivered. The real power lies less in the final recommendation and more in the subtle mechanics of the advisory process itself. Those mechanics quietly guide leaders toward specific outcomes. The common view says consultants are hired for expertise. Leaders need an answer to a complex problem and lack specialized resources, so they bring in a firm to analyze and propose a solution. First, we examine the visible story, then the hidden mechanisms behind it, and finally, the system-wide effects almost nobody sees coming. Consulting is less a spotlight that picks the best path, and more a riverbed that makes one direction feel natural and inevitable. On the surface, the role of a consultant is straightforward and transparent. It begins with a clear mandate from a client. A project has stalled, a market must be assessed, or efficiency must improve. The firm provides clarity and a plan of action. The visible steps are easy to track. Kickoff meetings, stakeholder interviews, data gathering, executives, managers, and frontline teams provide inputs. Operational data, financial reports, and market analyses are collected. The work yields process maps that visualize workflows and highlight bottlenecks. Financial models forecast costs and benefits. Decks, reports, and one-page summaries prepare leadership for decisions. Findings and recommendations are presented to leadership. This is the moment of decision. Consulting also provides legitimacy for difficult choices, restructuring or retiring products. External validation diffuses resistance and offers air cover. If problems arise, some blame shifts to external advisors. The visible story is true, but incomplete. It shows the what, not the why. It shows the decision, not the forces that made it likely from the start. To understand those forces, look behind the scenes. Incentives shape the work. Tools and templates impose constraints. Tight timelines create pressure for speed. The idea of purely objective, optimal advice does not survive contact with this system. The consulting business model introduces predictable biases. Efficiency and repeatability make firms profitable, and narrow solution spaces. Teams interpret problems through the lens of their playbooks. The data collected, the questions asked, and the analyses run feed pre-existing models. So the solutions reflect what those models generate. Standard KPIs benchmark clients against peers, creating quick credibility. What you measure and ignore steers recommendations. Unseen, early choices about playbooks, tools, and metrics make some outcomes more likely. Time quietly shapes recommendations. Most engagements last weeks to months, and clients pay for speed. The deadline is part of the value proposition. Tight timelines bias towards solutions that are easy to analyze and quick to implement. Deep cultural change and novel experiments seldom fit a 12-week plan. Under pressure, teams favor well-defined, data-backed actions deliverable before the clock runs out. Models excel at discrete, near-term moves, closing a site or launching a product. They struggle with complex cultural effects. Maps find bottlenecks, but not informal networks driving delays. Options with uncertain qualitative benefits are disadvantaged. The timeline itself filters which options reach the final report. Hence the prevalence of restructuring, software implementations, and cost reductions. If this breakdown is useful, consider like, comment, and subscribe to System Atlas for more documentary analyses. Threshold effects mean small-scale success can fail at scale. Pilots get extra attention. Full rollouts hit infrastructure and training limits. Variations and governance trigger delays and costs the pilot never faced. Early wins build momentum and lock paths. New systems optimize the very metrics leaders track. Positive dashboards validate decisions and sponsors. Firms reuse playbooks the next time, citing prior results. Data and tech architectures cement path dependency. Practices institutionalize. Changing course requires dismantling what was built. Decisions arise in a network of aligned interests. Well-known products plus reputable firms feel safer for everyone. Alternatives may fit better but lack ecosystem support, raising perceived risk. The incentive network filters out novel options. Final choices look rational, but relationships and incentives shape the shortlist. Enjoying System Atlas? Like, comment, and subscribe to support clear, ad-safe documentaries. When many hire the same firms, biases scale to industry trends. Path dependency and homogenization take hold for years. Seeing the full system, surface reasons, hidden mechanisms, and emergent effects reveals where influence really lives. Consulting drives decisions because it follows its own logic: efficiency, standardization, and risk management. These tools deliver predictable results on tight schedules. They fill gaps in capacity, legitimacy, and time. The system's effects emerge: path dependency, narrowed choices, homogenization. Tools reshape problems to fit their contours. They favor what is quantifiable, predictably scalable, and aligned with the business model. The hammer sees a nail. The playbook sees its 5-step solution. Leaders aren't just buying advice. They adopt this underlying logic. See the logic, and you can manage it. Question embedded assumptions. Test hidden thresholds before full rollout. Consciously evaluate options the standard analysis leaves out. Ignore the logic and the tool decides for you. Predictable, safe, not always best. Effective leadership uses the tool without being used by it. You've been watching System Atlas, exploring how the world's systems really work. Share your comments below. See you in our next episode.